In the previous episode, we created this extremely flexible dog class that is capable of producing all sorts of instances of dogs. Let's address one unresolved question, and that is we've previously noted that every instance method always has a return value. That is, at the end of it, it always returns something. And we can actually see that explicitly with some of these methods. Here we have a name method whose whole purpose is simply to return an instance variable. And the same goes for the breed method as well as the age method. However, we have three other instance methods here, such as setName, setBreed, and setAge, where we don't have the method actually explicitly return anything. And why not? How does that work? Let's explore this in IRB. Let's load in the dog class. You can see that simply by loading the file, the entire file runs, and it ends up printing that string, this dog is a 1-year-old poodle named Fifi. In any case, let us say dog equals dog.new. So now this dog variable contains a dog instance. And let's say dog.setName. Let's set the name to Bowser. Interestingly, we can see that this method indeed returned something. It returned the string Bowser. How did that happen if we never actually told the setName method to return anything? And the answer is that in Ruby, if you create an instance method and you don't mention the word return anywhere in the method, by default, the instance method will return the last thing, the last expression evaluated inside the method. When it comes to the setName method, the very last piece of code that was evaluated was line 4. And that's because line 4 happens to be the only line of code that this instance method contains. In any case, what did line 4 do? It took the text and stored it inside an instance variable called dog's name. We would then say that this dog's name instance variable is the very last thing that the setName method evaluated, and therefore it automatically returns the dog's name instance variable. That is, it's as if we said this. That is, this method essentially does two things. On line 4, it actually sets the dog's name instance variable to be Bowser, or whatever other text we provided in the argument. And then it does a second thing of where it actually returns the dog's name variable. We can see that if we check the dog's name, it is indeed Bowser. So the setName method worked. It did actually establish the dog's name to be the string Bowser. But it also returns the string Bowser. So it turns out that the setName method is a method where we don't really care too much about what the return value of the method is. The whole point of the method is to actually instantiate, or that is, create this instance variable. The fact that it also happens to return the dog's name as a return value is not so important to us. Since we don't really care so much about what it returns, we just simply leave off that line altogether. But the method does indeed return the dog's name instance variable, since that is the very last thing the method evaluates when it gets called.